people in North Carolina claim they have spotted Bigfoot.
Does that work to translate what
what Bigfoot is?
I don't know.
Well, they'll have to add that to it. Yes.
Several people in Halifax County say they've seen a large furry animal running through the woods, and they believe it is a Sasquatch. One woman says she heard the creature in her backyard and saw it from her kitchen window. She says it looked like a large gorilla.
It was very large, and its hair was super long, and it was running so fast. That's not like a bear, and it wasn't like a coyote. I've never seen anything like that whatsoever.
There's a lot of people in this town that have had sightings who still won't come talk to us just out of fear of being ridiculed, and that's very common.
A cryptozoologist took a cast of footprints that he found in the woman's backyard, and he says that rangers in the area were not able to identify it.
So, common denominator, Bigfoot has good hair, we've determined from the many sightings. He's big, apparently angry. Why does he look angry?
Might it have been a person in a gorilla suit?
Well, that could have been. We're investigating. That's all part of it.
All right, peace, y'all. Peace, peace, peace. So in this video, we're going to be talking about the Michigan dog man, or what some people may call it as a Wendigo. Now, in the Michigan dog man is a legendary creature, all right, from Michigan folklore. Now, the first time it was spotted was in 1887 in Wexford County. All right, somewhere out there in the mountains. Now, people have described this thing as a 7-foot tall, bipedal being with the dog's head. All right, a human torso and blue or amber eyes. Now, if we take a look at the Wendigo, it's also shaped the same exact way. Okay, but the difference with the Wendigo is that, it comes from Native American mythology, right? And it's described in the same manner with, hooves on its head. All right. And they also said it had a skeletal, frame, and then the heart was made of ice, and, it fed off of human flesh. All right. Now, this is considered to be a dark spirit or demon. All right. But some people have been spotting these things all over the place, right? Not just in Michigan, but all over, in different parts of the world. All right. Now, a guy by the name of Joe Barger, who was a truck driver, right? He claims that he saw the Michigan dog man himself and actually killed it. Now, I'm going to play his story, and then we're going to show some videos, of actual footage of this Michigan dog man or the Wendigo. All right, whichever you want to call it, because, people haven't actually seen close-up footage of it. But I got some videos that I was able to find, and you tell me what y'all think. All right.
My name is Joe. I'm a 6-year Army veteran, and I am a truck driver at this point in my life. I'm 59, and I have a story that I think needs to get out and is important for everybody to know or be aware of, and it's 100% factual, true, and I would swear as a Christian that on a Bible that this is all 100% factual truth. I guess I can begin with the premise of I've never heard of a cryptid called the Dog Man, and I believe that if I had known about this before, would have done things a little bit easier in this situation, but I would have got through it easier. But I'll go with, my story starts as I was driving a truck in Manistee National Forest. And
how long ago?
It was 5 years ago, and I was bringing a load of paper from a mill up there, 43,000 pounds, and I was starting to lose air on the way back to the terminal and being stopped for the night because I was home every night, and I was in a day cab, so I was home every night. And I had an air leak. I wanted to fix it before I got too far in. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know if it was gonna get worse, so I stopped to look at it. I found the air leak by the back brake chamber, on the trailer, and it was a cut, or a line partially cut. I was having a bad feeling when I was I was underneath the trailer, and I was hearing a vocalization. I didn't know what exactly the sound was. It wasn't natural that I ever heard before, and I didn't pay a whole lot of attention to it at the time. But as I was looking, as those sounds and the feeling in my gut was just odd and not normal for me, and I was looking around and I saw some shadowing and a light being blotted out and everything, and this would have occurred between 7 and 8 o'clock in the evening in June, and as I said, if I hadn't mentioned before, it was about 5 years ago, and so it would have been daylight, and there was plenty of light to see. It wasn't even nowhere near getting dark yet, and I was seeing shadowing in the wood line where all of the thicket was at, about 30 yards away. I was seeing dark and light in different areas, and I was in bear country, so I knew it was probably a black bear. That's what I perceived it to be at the time. And so when I got the idea that it could have been a black bear, I just got back in the truck, because I thought, well, I don't really want to deal with a black bear if it's, you don't know, like, rabies could be a thing or anything like that. So, and a crazy bear is not a good idea to be messing with. So I got in the truck, checked out my air. My air was good. It held. It took me about not even 5 minutes, but it was really a weird feeling I was getting from the woods that I was near at the time, and I was seeing things that I didn't really give it a lot of thought. I just thought everything was normal still. But when I started driving, got on the road, checking my left side mirror for any traffic. This was on a 2-lane paved road. Very lightly traveled, but it is a main road through Michigan and the Manistee National Forest. And as I started going up, I was at the bottom of a hill at a snowplow turnaround, and as I started going up the hill from a dead stop for about a mile, I was looking. As I said, I was looking in my rearview mirror on the left side, on my driver's side, and there was no traffic. I don't even think one car had passed that time I'd been there, maybe if that. And I started going up the hill, and as I looked in my right side mirror, as I was looking over there, at the same time I saw, that it was darker than it should be, and there was a wolf head the size of my window, and my windows were down, and he was trotting along next to me, and I was about 25 miles an hour at that point. And he was stooping down on 2 legs, looking down inside of my cabin. I'm at 9 feet tall in my seat. I just thought this kind of a werewolf-looking creature. I could see his shoulders, his paws were coming up, his hands. Actually, they were hands that were coming up close to my window, onto my door, scratching my windowsill and on my handle. I could hear the nails, the claws, and his, So as I was moving along at that speed, even though I have heard of Bigfoot, and I know those to be something that is in our reality, that this is a whole different thing altogether. It's not even close to what a Bigfoot is. It's a lot. It has a lot of sharp teeth, and the teeth on this thing were white. It has a lot of sharp teeth, and the teeth on this thing were white. Like brilliant white, 3-inch long fangs, bottom and top, at least maybe 3.5 or so. Pure black, pointed ears. It had yellow eyes. It was at least 10 feet tall, gauging from how it was stooping and looking in. His yellow eyes were darting all over the place. Maybe he was looking around to see how he could get in, or just assessing the inside of the cab. But he was looking at me, giving me a feeling of, I don't know if it was really, if you would call it like a mind speak, like some people might describe, but I think it was some communication through his eyes because of the intelligence that was there. It wasn't an animal look. And this all took place in 15-20 seconds at the most. There was a lot going on in all of this description. I was just taking it all in as time had slowed down for me. And
how did it look on his face, Joe? Tell him how it looked. Did it look good? Did it look like an animal? Did it look evil?
Well, how this creature looked was mad and determined to get to me, and he was sneering, and he wasn't making any noises vocally at the time. I never heard anything, any vocalization or growling. But the looks he was giving me and what I was reading from his body language and his sneering at me and the intelligence in his eyes was telling me that, I'm here to get you and there's nothing you can do about it. That's kind of what popped into my head.
And show y'all that the picture came from in the back of my yard. Let me see if I can flip this bitch around. That's the exact motherfucking spot now. That's my backyard. I'm zooming in a little piece. This is the exact spot that I just. This is the exact spot that I just.
You hear it? See it that time? Clear.
Got water running.
I just thought I'd make a quick video saying hi and kind of one of the What is that?
Olha aí, olha pra mim, olha. Olha ali, pra que é isso, cara? É muito grande, cara. Olha o negócio, mano. Ele tá de frente pro chão, mano. A minha câmera do peito que pegou, cara. Tá lá em quilômetro também, mano. Vamos sair daqui. Só que dá gente aqui. Vai, calma. Mano, ia atacar o Jé mesmo, mano. Ah lá, mano. Bota a mão em cima, Danilo. Ele tá olhando pra cá, velho, a cara dele. Olha aí, olha pra mim, olha. Olha ali, pra que é isso, cara?
An elusive creature. Alright, just squat it down. Yeah, let me see your camera, I'll do it. An elusive creature. Alright, just squat it down. Yeah, let me see your camera, I'll do it.
There was so many things that going through my mind at the same time. I thought about trying to roll up the window. You know, there's a lot of things, but I'm like, that isn't going to help me because you know what? You know, it's just not. Even if I did, and I couldn't even find the little levers to pull. You know, the power windows. Even it was like I was already shaking and just my adrenaline was kicking in, and I was just all over the place mentally. But I did have enough faculties to keep the truck on the road, keep it going up the hill. I didn't even really think of my gun until I got this idea in my mind, what was coming across from what I thought was a werewolf, that, oh, you think I can't do anything about it? Well, watch this, you know. Watch this. You think I can't? And then I had a gun strapped right here. It was a 45 Colt, and I just pulled it like this and shot twice, and he went down. I mean, instantly went down. I was looking at him as he was sliding into the weeds, and you know, his head was flopping around, his legs and his arms were stiff. I knew it was a brain shot from hunting. He didn't know what hit him. It was definitely a brain shot.
I really wasn't interested, wasn't looking for the dog man. It was one of those situations where it showed up and it found me. I didn't find it. My name is Scott Carpenter, and I'm from Maryville, Tennessee. I'm a systems administrator for a small software company, and I also am an amateur Sasquatch researcher when I have the time. I had just left what people in the research call a feeding station, and that is a location where you leave food for the Sasquatch and you attempt to get DNA, hair sample, or you attempt to get them on trail camera. And so it was just a regular day for me. I didn't feel anything. Normally with a Sasquatch, if one's in the area, the hairs on the back of your neck stand up, you can feel that they're around and there's some tension in the air, some pressure. I had what's called a back trail camera on my shoulder, filming behind me, and it filmed all the time. And then when I would return home from the research, I would review it. And I was sitting in front of the TV with a laptop in my lap, just kind of scrolling through the footage. When I get to this point and I go by and I see some movement, I see a dark shape and some movement. And I thought, that's strange. So I back it up and start watching it more slowly. When I slowed it down and started going frame by frame, that's when I actually saw what was back there. And you could see the head movement. It was back and it came forward and it kind of pushed itself through the foliage a little bit. And that's when it hit me. Oh my gosh, you know, what is this? At first I was hopeful it was a Sasquatch, but then when I slowed it down and blew it up, it was obviously not a Sasquatch. You could see a visible snout. A Sasquatch is a human hybrid type being that has a flat face just like we do. When this creature kind of leveled off and poked its snout through some foliage, you could visibly see the nostrils opening and closing. I finally actually bought a real program to do video analysis that would actually allow me to clear it up and denoise it and run some other filters through it. So when I blew it up, then I was able to stabilize and put it in slow motion. There are always going to be critics. They say that, you know, it's just bogus and it's a stump, or it's you know, pareidolia or some other visual effect, matrixing, you know, the motion of the camera, etc. But there's something there and it's moving. You can actually see the nostril open and close through a cycle of breaths. That was the part to me that was the most convincing. This was an actual living being that was breathing. And then the fear and the realization kicked in that what I was seeing and how close it was. Because I'd never seen a dog man. The first dog man technically I saw was the one I did in the video. There was pictures, of course, and people had fuzzy, grainy videos, but it gave me pause because it, made me realize I'm vulnerable. I was all alone. This thing could have gotten me, literally, and done whatever with me, and no one would have found me for days, and would have known what happened to me. It's the first time it sunk in when I was doing research. This is the real deal. There are these things out here, and you're in harm's way. If it wanted to, it could have done me some serious harm, and I would have never known it was there. I did not know this creature was behind me until after I got home. And that's what was really the scariest part, is actually reviewing the video and seeing this thing and knowing it was only 4 or 5 feet behind you, and not having a clue it was there. That was pretty terrifying. It took me a couple weeks to recover from that, to kind of get my courage up to go back into the woods. And after that, I always carried a gun because even though nothing happened, it's just the fact that this thing was so close. I've had several experiences with the Sasquatch during my research before this encounter. I had never before encountered a creature like this, a dog.
So prizing open the wood, the hole to make it larger to get inside. Good. Little foot. So here, on the back of the adult, I noticed a foot. Just here. Which seems to be moving in time with the adult as she kind of shifts and moves slightly side to side. So I'm scrolling back and forth now. As you can see, it's very blurry and fuzzy. Let's take a closer look. Just here. And I believe this is the backside of the juvenile, a young one, infant on the back, right arm, so holding on maybe here. Maybe it kind of looks like a thumb, so wrapping around there. The fur, the hair, head is here. And here's a still that I've done. Some stills enhancements. There we go. You can kind of see the ball of the foot, and then.
Now, for those wondering about the Michigan dog man, right, and why mostly people see it in the northwestern, I guess, lower peninsula area, but they said it's supposed to occur, people see it every 10 years, all right, especially ending in 7. So most likely people will start to see this thing around 2027 again, right? But the legend actually came from a guy by the name of DJ Steve Cook, right? He actually recorded a song which was called The Legend as an April Fool's prank. You know what I'm saying? Reporting to a lot of different encounters, but most people believe that it could be a misidentified animal or some sort of Bigfoot. You know, but if you really pay attention to these things really do exist. Okay, and some people would, you know, counteract this and call it the Nephilim. You know, me personally, I believe these are dark spirits. You understand? And they go to these, you know, rural areas because they know that they're likely not to be spotted or seen, okay, by humans. All right. And for the most part, when people report on this stuff, like there was a guy that from Canada that reported on, you know, seeing a Bigfoot. He had footage of it and everything, and he ended up dead.
There's a person standing there.
No, it's not.
Dude, if you've seen what I've seen right now, yeah, I'm gonna use this as a tripod to try to keep it steady for you guys. And it's not even there anymore, too. That's where it was yesterday. I spoke to some locals and it comes and goes apparently, I don't know. See, that's me trying to keep it super steady with something. There we go. Do you know how hard it is to keep it steady when zoomed in all the way?
I just got stopped by like some CIA agent. He told me to turn around, said I'm trespassing. I said it's a public it's a public area, like a public park or whatever. Some local told me to take this path. I didn't get it on camera, but I'm going to go again tomorrow and be prepared to be filming right now because he stopped the vehicle. His truck was blocking it. Said some big environmental issue was going on. I don't know. He told me to go back and said I was trespassing. I don't get it. It was awkward, but I'm going back again tomorrow to see if he's not there. But if he is there, I will keep camera. I will film because the only angle I could get that I found today is the one I just posted earlier, and there wasn't even anything there. But I don't understand why the road's blocked off. I don't know. Yeah, this is him. What's going on?
Road's closed. Turn around.
Really?
Yeah, man. Just turn around, please.
Okay. Have a good night, man. So that was fucked up. There he is. I'm driving past him again. Just turned around. I don't understand why it's closed off though. It's a fucking public park or public road or whatever. Hey guys, I just want to give you an update. I'm not dead. I have not disappeared. I have just been busy with life. I couldn't get around to posting and updating you guys, so now I'm going to give you an official update of what's been going on. Sorry to disappoint you guys, but all of the videos... Sorry to disappoint you guys, but all of the videos that I post, all the videos that I posted were scripted. They're just fake. They were just strictly for entertainment. I'm sorry to disappoint you guys. I just needed to give you a quick update.
Oh, drukst du? Oh! Something happened over there. There's in the trees. What's that? I'll get back to camp.
We see something moving on the hill above.
Run!
Where?
Where is it? Is it like where those trees, like right on the right side of it?
No, it stopped and looking at us.
It's kind of looking at us.
I don't see it.
Moving now.
The tree is? It's to the right of them. It's walking that way.
What tree?
The trees. Okay. See that King's Castle?
Yeah. See that kind of little skinny thing?
That little thing.
Yeah.
On the right side of the tree.
Kind of small, but this is a far way away.
Oh. I don't see nothing. Seriously.
On the ridge.
On the ridge?
Right on the ridge.
Almost to those trees.
It's coming down this way. See the patch of snow in the middle there? There's 3 patches of snow up there.
Or maybe
See the one right up, straight up above the patch of snow?
Right under that big wall.
There could be something that's
The bigger patch of the 3 patches of snow.
Over here?
Yeah.
What about it?
He's walking up right on the ledge. See, he's just there. Did you see him moving? He's almost to the tree there. Those 2 trees. The 3 of it might be 3 trees.
He's in the trees.
The 3 trees. You see the 3 trees there, don't you?
Yeah.
Right up the very ridge. Well, wait a second. He should.
The thing something like that,
Yeah,
right?
right. He should come out in between them or past them, I would think. There he is. See him right between the 2 trees right now?
Yeah.
See?
Oh yeah, he's walking down.
See, he's between the 2 trees right now.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go pick those people.
Where? Dang it! He must
2
have.
trees to the left of King's Castle.
Yeah.
See King's Castle?
Yeah.
He's shaking his fist at us.
He's right in between the 2 trees right now.
He's screaming at us something. Get out of my camp. Get out of my camp.
He's probably saying, hey, there's 15 Bigfoots down there.
He's coming. Is he coming down?
He's
like
jumping up and down. He's going back and forth. He is furious. He knows we're in our.
He's acting kind of strange.
Now he's almost in the tree.
Where's John?
So now, whether we want to call it a Wendigo, spirit, okay, or refer to it as the Michigan Dogman, or Bigfoot, or the Nephilim, okay, we have to understand that these things do exist. All right, there are certain, things that go on behind the scenes, and a lot of these places, they don't want this information out there. And of course, we could look at places like Area 51 and, all of these military labs where a lot of this stuff actually takes place at, but for the most part, knowing that the Michigan Dogman, or whether we want to call it the Wendigo, Bigfoot, like I said, Sasquatch, these things do exist. All right, they do exist. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video of a lot of these clips. Let me know in the comments section how y'all feel about it. Do you think these things are real? Do you think that they are spirits, or is it just some, creepy stuff going on out there? But I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I'm gonna get to some more content for y'all. All right, peace.